2Chronicles 6. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. He's an extremely jealous El. He's so jealous that he doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. And Yah is short for YahWeh, Yahweh, Yod-He, Vav-He. There's no difference. It's like saying Dan, Daniel, Daniel with an E. What is the difference and does matter is when people say that Phil, Bob, Sam, and Aaron are the same name, because no, they're not. And no one in their right mind would ever believe that, and only a fool would believe that a hammer could force its creator to do anything. There was no letter J in the Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic text because the letter J is only about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity over 2,000 years ago. Died for the sins of all of humanity over 2,000 years ago. And a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua, is Joshua, and I strongly believe that the son of Elohim's name, Yehoshua, means Yahweh is salvation. 6. Then Shlomo said, Yahweh has said he would dwell in the dark cloud, but I have built you an exalted house and a place for you to dwell in forever. And the sovereign turned around and blessed all the assembly of Yisrael, while all the assembly of Yisrael stood, and he said, Blessed be Yahweh, Elohim of Yisrael, who has filled with his hands what he spoke with his mouth to my father David, saying, From the day that I brought my people out of the land of Mitzrayim, I have chosen no city from any tribe of Israel in which to build a house for my name to be there. Nor did I choose any man to be a leader over my people Israel, but I have chosen Jerusalem for my name to... I'm just going to close the window. Some people are so inconsiderate. So inconsiderate. Like, come on. Whatever. But I have chosen Jerusalem for my name to be there, and I have chosen David to be over my people Israel, and it is in the heart of my father David to build a house for the name of Yahweh Elohim of Israel. But Yahweh said to my father David, Because it was in your heart to build a house for my name, you did well in that it was in your heart, but you do not build the house for your son who comes forth from your loins. He does build the house for my name. Now Yahweh has established his word which he spoke, and I have been raised up instead of my father David, and sit on the throne of Israel as Yahweh promised, and I have built the house for the name of Yahweh Elohim of Israel. And there I have placed the ark, and there I have placed the ark, in which is the covenant of Yahweh, which he made with the children of Israel. And he stood before the slaughter place of Yahweh in front of all the assembly of Israel, and spread out his hands. For Shlomo had made a bronze platform 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad and 3 cubits high, and had put it in the midst of the court. And he stood on it and knelt down on his knees before all the assembly of Israel, and spread out his hands toward the heavens, and said, Yahweh Elohim of Israel, there is no Elohim in the heavens or on earth like you, guarding the covenant and loving commitment with your servants who walk before you with all their heart, who has guarded what you promised your servant David my father. Indeed, you have both spoken with your mouth and have filled it with your hand as it is this day. And now, Yahweh Elohim of Israel, guard what you promised your servant David my father, saying, There is not to cease a man of yours before me, sitting on the throne of Israel, only if your sons guard their way to walk in my Torah as you have walked before me. And now, O Yahweh Elohim of Israel, let your word come true, which you have spoken to your servant David. For is it true, Elohim dwells with men on the earth. See, the heavens and the heavens of the heavens are unable to contain you. How much less this house which I have built? Yet shall you turn to the prayer of your servant and his supplication, O Yahweh, my Elohim, to listen to the cry and to the prayer which your servant is praying before you, for your eyes to be open toward this house day and night, toward the place you have said to put your name there, to listen to the prayer which your servant prays toward this place, and shall you give heed to the supplications of your servant and of your people Israel when they pray toward this place, and hear from your dwelling place in the heavens, and shall hear and forgive? It's a question. Oh, and shall you, not and you shall. And shall you give heed to the supplications of your servant and of your people Israel when they pray toward this place, and hear from your dwelling place in the heavens, and shall hear and forgive? It's a question, yeah. If anyone sins against his neighbor, and he has lifted up an oath on him to cause him to swear, and comes and swears before your slaughter place in this house, then hear in the heavens and act and rightly rule your servants, repaying the wrong by bringing his way on his own head, and declare right the righteous by giving him according to his righteousness. And if your people Israel are smitten before an enemy because they have sinned against you, and they shall turn back and confess your name and pray and make supplication before you in the house, then hear in the heavens and forgive the sin of your people Israel, and bring them back to the land which you gave to them and their fathers, when the heavens are shut up and there is no rain because they have sinned against you, and they shall pray toward this place and confess your name and turn from their sin because you afflict them, then hear in the heavens and forgive the sin of your servants, your people Israel, for you teach them the good way in which they should walk, and shall send rain on your land which you have given to your people as an inheritance. Now remember, they didn't just invade. They asked if they could pass through, and every single nation stood up against them and said no. And they went to war with them. Israel just defended themselves. That was the way of getting their land. They defended themselves, and when their army was smitten, they just took over. Shouldn't have tried to go to war with people who just wanted to pass by. That's all I gotta say. When there is scarcity of food, when there is scarcity of food in the land, when there is pestilence or blight or mildew, locusts or grasshoppers, when their enemies distress them in the land of their cities, any plague or any sickness, whatever prayer, whatever supplication is made by anyone or by all your people Israel, when each one knows his own plague and his own grief, and speaks out and spreads out his hands to this house, then hear from the heavens your dwelling place, and forgive and give to everyone according to all his ways, whose heart you know, for you alone know the hearts of the sons of men, so that they fear you to walk in your ways as long as they live in the land which you gave to our fathers. Also concerning a foreigner who is not of your people Israel, but who comes from a far land, for the sake of your great name and your strong hand and your outstretched arm, when they come and pray in this house, then hear from the heavens your dwelling place, and do according to all which the foreigner calls to you for, so that all the people of the earth know your name and fear you, as do your people Israel, and to know that this house which I have built is called by your name. When your people go out to battle against their enemies in the way that you send them, and they shall pray to you toward this city which you have chosen, toward the house which I have built for your name, then shall you hear from the heavens their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause? When they sin against you, for there is no one who does not sin, and you become enraged with them and give them to the enemy, and they take them captive to a land far or near, and they shall turn back unto their heart in the land where they have been taken captive, and shall turn and make supplication to you in the land of their captivity, saying, We have sinned, we have acted crookedly, and have done wrong. And when they return to you with all their heart and with all their being in the land of their captivity, where they have taken them captive, and they shall pray toward their land which you gave to their fathers, and the city which you have chosen, and toward the house which I have built for your name, then shall you hear from the heavens, your dwelling place, their prayer and their supplications, and maintain their house. Then shall you hear from the heavens, your dwelling place, their prayer and their supplications, and maintain their cause, and forgive your people who have sinned against you? ? Now, my Elohim, I pray, let your eyes be open, and let your ears be attentive to the prayer of this place. And now arise, O Yahweh Elohim, to your resting place, you and the ark of your strength. Let your priests, O Yahweh Elohim, be robed with deliverance, and let your loving committed ones rejoice in goodness. O Yahweh Elohim, do not turn away the face of your anointed. Remember the loving commitment of your servant David. Now, just because a car honked doesn't mean they're being disrespectful. I was just kidding. In case anyone overreacts. But anyways, that was a really good piece. I like that.